Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're back here at Crown Hyundai in St. Pete, Florida, and guess what? I have that one smaller mid-size crossover SUV, which is actually Hyundai's OG SUV. What am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is a 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe. This particular one is the top dog trim known as Calligraphy, and it's the hybrid. But before we get into this fuel-sipping mid-size 3-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So yes, you heard correctly, Y2K, baby. The year 2000, that was the birth of the Santa Fe, Hyundai's first ever crossover SUV. Now they got a lineup a mile long, and they not only have traditional internal combustion engine, but then they also have the pairing with the hybrid technology. Now, Y2K, a lot of people were freaking out that their watches weren't going to work anymore, they weren't going to be able to get money out of ATMs, and their computers were going to self-destruct. But the great news is none of that ever happened. And the even better news is that the Santa Fe grew up. It went from a smaller 2-row crossover SUV to what you see in front of us. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, you said this is a midsize. What about the Palisade? You're right, you heard correctly. There is the Palisade. The Palisade is a little bit larger than the Santa Fe. So something to think about. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into this Calligraphy and see if it is the must-owned crossover SUV. If you need 3 rows, you don't want to go super size, but you also want some fuel sipping going on there when it comes to MPGs. Let's go ahead, put on your glasses, your sunglasses, and let's check out this white Calligraphy trim. Right off the bat, the white with the black, it just screams Star Wars Stormtrooper all day long. And I guess that's the one good thing about being a Star Wars fan over a Star Trek fan, is that there's really no color combinations, which would make you say, hey, that's got that Star Trek theme to it. Doesn't work. But Star Wars, see, that's why Star Wars is better, because you got the Stormtrooper set up here. Right off the bat, you have that unique H. Everything is about H with the Santa Fe. H design, daytime running lamp and turn signal. You got your LED headlights. Working your way down, Calligraphy trim gives you some gloss black. Massive functional corner air curtains here. Then a little bit of flat black and the rest gloss. But let me know if it's grown on you. I know it's taken time for it to grow on people, how the design is. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that looks like a Land Rover Defender. But when you see it in person, it really doesn't. It's totally different proportions when you see it outside. But let me know what you think about the H in the lighting. Now, as we come across the front grille to Calligraphy, one of the zonks is this top portion is all fake. It's just there for looks, all show, no go. You do get the dark chrome accents and the LED strip that comes all the way across. Working our way down, you got that Cyclops eye setup. Not my favorite. This is gonna get damaged very easily if you just tap somebody, do a little love kiss and rear end them. These gloss black doors actually open up when you fire up the Palisade to bring cool air. And then the lower grille is fully functional with those dark chrome accents. And then I hope you like Ruffles potato chips. Get out the French onion dip, because we got ridges just like Ruffles on that lower lip. But let me know what you think about the face of this Santa Fe Calligraphy hybrid. Now, as we rise up, it's so bright, I need my sunglasses. I wear my sunglasses at night, that's for sure. Flat black, nice little smooth curve. You do have some metallic flake to it. And then as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So when you go Calligraphy, these are the wheels you're getting, even on the hybrid setup. So what do you have wheel-wise? This is a 20-inch wheel. I like the flat black multi-spoke design. Tires are gonna be 255 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And on this particular vehicle, I'm okay with the gloss black around the fender openings. I know that's crazy for me to say, but like I said, sticking with the Stormtrooper theme, it actually looks pretty darn good. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. It's also great to see that you could go hybrid and you don't have to get a freaky looking wheel that looks like a flying saucer. I do remember though, as a kid, going to Carvel and getting their flying saucer ice cream sandwiches. I could use one of those right about now. I could actually use about 5 of those right now because I'm so hot and I'm freaking hungry. But let me know what you think about the wheel. As we rise up, I love the indentation that they do in the fenders. I could do without this stuck-on fake vent thing that says Santa Fe. It just looks a little tacky. You do have your power folding mirrors, LED lighting, and 360-degree cameras, so you're getting a lot of tech. From the side of the vehicle, this is where you can see that boxy shape, but it's also very low. This is not as high as a Land Rover Defender. You got your raised flat black roof rails. You could get your crossbars and all that other good stuff to put up there. Gloss black around the window frame openings. And then you have color matched on the door handles, and then the gloss black with the flat black along the lower sill. Now working our way towards the rear, this is where the wheels, I think, fall off the wagon design-wise. As you come around back, it's so weird. Look at how low the back of the car is. Now that's great for getting stuff up top, I guess, without getting a step ladder or a full-size ladder, but it kind of looks like it's got a droopy rear end. Not really loving it. I thought I loved it, but I don't love it. I really don't. I do love, though, the way they got rid of the wiper. It's tucked underneath. You do have a digital rear view mirror. That's what that camera's for. And then they spell out Santa Fe with the flat black. Working our way down the ground level, a little bit of gloss black. You got the H in the lighting, just like up front. And then on the bottom portion, you got those little Ruffles ridges. I hope they paid Ruffles to put the ridges there, because there's a lot of ridges like a Ruffles potato chip. But you can see how I almost feel like it's gonna fall on me. It's like tilted down. I'm like, don't fall on me. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood, because we got hybrid power. How do I know? It actually says hybrid on the back of the Santa Fe. Why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about its fuel economy. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood, like it says, is that hybrid power plant. So what does that exactly mean? That means we have a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 paired to the electric motors. It produces 231 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic. So no CVT like you would find on a Toyota Highlander hybrid. It has a 1 kilowatt battery pack, lithium ion of course, 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 119 miles an hour. You could tow up to 2,000 pounds, and the vehicle weighs 4,516 pounds, but here's the kicker. MPGs, 35 in the city, 34 on the highway. I'm glad a lot of people stopped putting in the comment section, didn't you just say those numbers backwards? Shouldn't it be 35 on the highway and 34 in the city? No. With a hybrid, when the engine isn't running, it uses less fuel. When you're on the highway, it's gonna stay running. That's why there's a little bit better fuel economy in the city than on the highway. See? The more you know, the more you grow. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see this Santa Fe roll. All right guys, we are inside this 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe, this being the top dog calligraphy trim, and it is a hybrid. Now I know you're probably saying to yourself, well Joe, I need a new midsize SUV. My last one kind of blew the engine, so I'm looking for something fresh, modern. It's got the tech, it's got all the amenities, and it does good on fuel economy. How much is this one? MSRP, you're looking at $51,000. That is the top dog calligraphy trim. But let's see what you get when you go top dog in the hybrid Santa Fe to the door panels. Love the finishes. You have that leather style material up top, nice and soft. That's real open pore wood. I actually saw them cut down the tree that they used for the wood in this vehicle. And then you have the silver trim looking great, two-tone with that Babe Ruth baseball glove colored material, no gloss black. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe just one Whopper brisket burger and a Coca-Cola to wash it down, and then we have the Bose premium sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I like the way they have that baseball style material with the nice stitching. Open it up. This is where you could dump all your fries. You could dump 2 large fries in here, no problem. You got your H on the AC vents, letter H for Hyundai. And then you have your, of course, Santa Fe Twinkie tray, 13 Twinkies, a baker's dozen. Now slide on in, you got your 12.3-inch infotainment system. I like the way it's tilted towards the driver, full touchscreen. I like the way you have this little side screen here, let you see your hybrid action happening with the battery and everything. Of course, we have all the different icons, passenger talk, and then you do have full usability of all the apps as well, including activating the seats. Second row has those heated seats, which is nice. Look at that. You can even move the seats because they are power. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera, clear as day, nice resolution. Do the sit and spin. There's our white calligraphy. And this is your electric column shifter to go into reverse or drive or push the button to go into park. And that's that. Your start stop button, real knobs and switch gear for your audio controls. You get dual climate, heated steering wheel, 2 stages, 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats, hill descent control, your different drive modes. And then I like the way they brought the tan into the center console. Not 1, but 2 wireless chargers, 2 USB-Cs. Down below, you got a 12-volt and enough room for, I would say, 2 1980s metal lunch boxes. I used to love my metal lunch boxes. My 2 favorite were Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard. I wish I still had them. The thermos. The only thing I used to hate is when my mom ran out of peanut butter and she just had jelly. What she would do is make a jelly and cream cheese sandwich which tasted so nasty, especially if it's been sitting in the box, the lunch box, half the day, non-refrigerated. Ugh, I'm starting to have some PTSD here. Love the soft touch. Open it up. You got enough room in there. I would say you could put a whole unopened case of Garbage Pail Kids. That's how I used to roll. I had my Knight Rider lunchbox, and then my friends and I would trade Garbage Pail Kids. Atom Bomb, Ray Gun, all the big ones. My dad threw them all out. I got in trouble at school with him, and when I came home, he took them all and just threw them all out on me. So there goes that. The seats, the leather, H for a Hyundai, H, it's everywhere. Nice baseball material, soft leather, power assist for the passenger, power assist for the driver. You have a standard size sunroof for up front, but then you have a small panoramic unopening glass roof for the passengers in the mid row and the third row. And I love this Alcantara. And I almost forgot, there's that digital rearview mirror, clear as day. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I got a 2-tone steering wheel I want to show you in this Santa Fe. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, so if you have a friend and you're going to let them drive your Santa Fe, they could have their own seat setting, and that's nice if you have a friend. Friends are hard to come by, and remember, trust takes years to build, but you could break it within seconds. Like I said, the more you know, the more you grow, and that's what I'm all about. Down below, you have your Santa Fe aluminum sill plate, and then you got all the seat controls. Look at this, including being able to recline the seat, the whole 9 yards. You could really lay out and actually sleep. Look at this. What's going on here? Oh my God. Wow. So if you ever do break that circle of trust and you get kicked out, you can sleep in your Santa Fe. Your Santa Fe still loves you. That's the way it rolls. But man, is that comfortable or what? Now I just need to get it back. No more. I don't want to rest in this Santa Fe. I want to go sleep at home. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom, and then 2-tone steering wheel with the black leather, the tan, flat black on the switch gear. Still think that's ridiculous, the Morse code, but I like this. It almost looks like stainless steel material, but it's not, it's plastic, but it looks good. paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that 6-speed automatic, because this is the hybrid, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you do have, of course, your digital gauge cluster. I told you have modes. You have modes: Eco, Sport, and My Drive, which is your preferences. Those are your preferences. Let me shut off this shipping mode here. I'm gonna hold down the OK. There we go. Now we're in business. And now you can see those blind spot cameras look fantastic. And you have a head-up display. So they got you covered technology-wise. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the mid-row and the third row and see how much room there is in this Santa Fe. All right, guys, mid-row time in the Santa Fe. I do want to point out, everybody gets the real wood trim on the door. So everybody gets to rub their wood. You do have heated seats, 3 stages, easy access. And then the mid-row is power. Power seats for the mid-row. Very nice touch. I got to zonk the armrest. This captain's chair armrest is too skinny. That's a zonk. I do like the H. See how they turned it? It's the letter H. That's like the letter of the day. AC vents, large pockets. You could easily put 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies here. And I'm telling you right now, when those Girl Scouts are out selling the cookies, they're almost like drug dealers. That stuff is like crack. Slide on in. I like this. Easy access for your rear seat passengers. You know how they sit there and like, Mom, give me a cookie. Mom, give me a cookie. Now you can say, shut your mouth and get your own cookie. That's what we, as parents, you have to help your child do for themselves. Not always expect somebody else to do for them, because that's not how it works in the real world. Pull this down. Look at that nice drawer. Put some more cookies, maybe some chips. I like those little tiny bags of Fritos and Cheetos, Doritos, Lay's. Ow, I just closed my freaking finger in there. Don't do that, it hurts. USB-Cs on the back. You got the manual shades. And then like I said, the seat is power, so you could recline it. You can slide it. You can move it every which way, 20 different ways from Sunday. Really, whoa, what's going on here? Nice, excellent. Now to get in the back, what we're gonna do is there's a button right up top here. We're gonna hit that, and that's gonna allow that to move out of the way. Let me fix the carpet. Let me slide this up a little bit here, just to make it work a little bit better for me when I break my legs to get in the third row for you. Oh, God. Yeah, This is why originally the Santa Fe was a 2-row, and whoever's idea to add a 3rd row, it's just stupid. It's too tight back here. The good news is I could recline the seats manually by pulling on these tethers. Now it's doable. I could actually spend more than 5 seconds back here. I have my own AC controls. Look at that. Oh my God, do I need the AC right about now? USB-C and a home power source. And I like the way they did the 2-tone throughout all 3 rows. Let me fix this carpet. That's not what the carpet is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be nice and flat. There we go. Like that. Something like that. There we go. That makes me feel better. So why don't we get in the cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin in the Santa Fe. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Hit the button. Nice electric assist. What I do love is with the droopy rear end, you do have a very low rear bumper area, which is great. You're going to be greeted to 15 cubic feet of space. These seats are movable, which is nice as well. So you don't have to have them all the way back. That's just the recline position, like I was pointing out to you when I was sitting in the 3rd row. And here are the tethers to adjust the recline on the 3rd row, since it is manual recline. But you're just going to pull and push. Pull and push. I love the fact that we have this nice cargo floor liner. You do have a 12 volt. Easy access from when you're at the beach, tailgating, at the park. USB-C, your AC vents, and then Lori loves this. On the passenger side where you have those AC controls for the 3rd row. Turn it on, turn it off. USB-C and a home freaking power source. And you could put down the mid-row. It's actually electric. You see how it's folding right there? For that mid-row. Now, how much space are we talking about? So we started off with 15, not a lot, but then we went to to 41 cubic feet of space. Put down the mid-row, you have 81 cubic feet of space. So even though this is a little smaller than the Palisade, you're still getting a lot of cargo space. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go see how this hybrid version of the Santa Fe actually drives. All right, guys, we're inside this 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy Hybrid. Right away, you're gonna love the amount of space in here and all the amenities. Easy to get to that 12.3-inch infotainment system. You got your hybrid readout, which you'll see that in motion once we start rolling. Head-up display, I have it in sport mode. We're gonna go on throttle once the light turns green. On throttle. So obviously, some wheel spin because this is front-wheel drive, but it's not about going on throttle per se, even though with the electric motors, it's a pretty good oomph off the line. Where this really comes into play is that amazing fuel economy, the 35 mpgs in the city. You can see the hybrid display showing how the battery charges. And what's interesting is with this being a hybrid version, it actually handles better than your standard Santa Fe because that battery pack helps lower the center of gravity. You got the blind spot cameras, seats are comfy, the leather is great on them, and the fact that you have power seats for both the front row and the mid row is a very, very nice touch, especially at this price point. Getting to everything is well within reach and good visibility out the windshield. You got that beautiful digital rear view mirror. And I'm glad that this comes with a 6-speed automatic rather than a CVT like a lot of the other hybrid competitors out there. But they do a pretty darn good job where you're not really feeling the effects of the internal combustion engine turning on and off, which is fantastic. And just the drivability of these Santa Fe's is really, really good. It's like the Goldilocks, right? It's not too big, not too small. But it definitely feels like a more expensive SUV than what the MSRP says, especially with this being the top dog trim. But visibility of that digital gauge cluster, very easy to read through the steering wheel. I love the two-tone. And I'm okay with this wood finish because it doesn't have any veneer on it. Any of that sheen. Going over the railroad tracks. It's rock solid in here. The sound deadening material is great. The acoustic windshield, the side glass thickness really closes out the outside world. Very, very well done with this new Santa Fe. I just think technically they should have kept it just 2-row. If you want a 3-row, get the Palisade. If you want a mid-size 2-row, go Santa Fe. But hey, what do I know? But that instant torque, I know some of you might be like, oh, but it's got a 1.6 liter turbo. With the electric motors, with that instant torque from the motors, you're gonna get that oomph off the line, that's for sure. And you're not waiting. It actually negates any boost lag from the 1.6 liter turbocharged engine. And the 6-speed automatic is paired very, very nicely with it. Brakes feel good. Everything, like I said, just well sorted in this 2026 Santa Fe. Of course, we have people who like to ride in the street on their sidewalks. Very, very bizarre. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But the fact that we got the head-up display, the fact that everything is so well laid out in here, it just feels fantastic. And it really just shows what Hyundai is bringing compared to a lot of the competition. especially at the price point. But see, rolling out with the motor, electric motor, you got plenty of get up and go, which is nice. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall quick review of this 2026 Santa Fe. We're gonna get back to Crown Hyundai and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been like sitting on the surface of the sun today, but you know what? We make the movie magic happen. That's what we do here on Raiti's Rides. Definitely got to thank Casey and the rest of the crew for getting us access to this Stormtrooper Edition 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. Calligraphy, it's a mouthful, but I think you're getting a mouthful of SUV. Let me know what you think though. Is this the must-own midsize, especially if you like that fuel sipping? Put it in the comments section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Gotta give it up to Latte Lori. She's sweating out here like you can't believe, but you know what? She puts in the work, and that's why she's the freaking best. So you better put it in the comments section how much you appreciate her hard work. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.